Hello everyone, welcome back to chess. We're playing 1510 as white against Face, I guess. Kind of playing a familiar opening. Have found no great reasons to deviate from this approach. Isn't that knight move bad because I get to go here? That's my recollection of how this all works out. I'll give it a try. Okay. So they have that d5 move, right? Okay. Well, maybe this wasn't so great for me. It's not bad if you still have d4 available. I could try some like aggressive stuff, like attacking this knight. Is that crazy? This defense doesn't really work. What do they defend it with? Here? My knight is hanging. Right, that's why this is not so amazing. But it's not really hanging, right? Because if takes, takes. I'm gonna just see how this goes. It'll be exciting. I don't know. I think this is probably not great for me. We'll see. I have several threats, but I think this kind of stops. Well, I don't know. Here, it's probably, I don't know, maybe it's okay. He said wishfully. And we'll have the idea of this discovery at some point. Just dropping the bishop for free seems pretty bad. But if we could support the bishop, like say after knight here, then that might be something. I feel like they do need to take this knight though, right? Well, no, you could do this, I guess. Okay. Oh, this bishop's doing a lot, huh? He's threatening stuff here, but he's also threatening this takes check rook. I guess my kingside's in a little bit of an issue if I devote the queen and and bishop to that. Yeah, I think I lose my own rook and then some. This is a weird opening. I think this is probably not a thing. It doesn't work. Or I don't know. I guess it would be fine here, here. Um, And just don't go in for the rook. Just win the pawn and then get out of there. Keep your eye on this. Oh, right. If I had taken the rook in that line, my queen would still be watching the square, so it would be okay. So I think here I should probably just take the queen and blow up their kingside and take that as my victory. And then get back to developing. I could blow up both sides of the board, I guess, but I don't want to do that. This bishop's great. Yeah, go away. And I think we want to go kingside, right? Yeah, this pawn is a weakness, and this line's rook up against it. I could probably launch the f-pawn immediately, to be honest. I don't know. Castling, it was probably wrong to castle. Like, this attack isn't really doing anything yet, even though I had the idea of, like, coming here, maybe. Oh, maybe here? Right, rather than attacking the f-pawn directly, you pin the e-pawn, and then attack it. Keep an eye on these guys. Okay. Ooh, queenside. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I did blow up your kingside. I have this, but it doesn't really work. Well, does it? No, they just get this pawn and then my rook. Okay. So chase this away first, I think. Well, I mean, I have this pawn, but I can take it later. There's no rush. Oh, I'm not even chasing away the knight because their bishop is defending. I forgot about that. I guess they're threatening this because the pawn is pinned. Yeah. So this doesn't actually stop anything. But if we go here, that gives me time to get the rook out of the way. Okay. My opponent is better developed than I am. But they have these weak pawns over here. So I don't know. I feel like after something like here, that should be okay. I cash in uh, the material in it for this weak pawn before they can somehow repair their pawns. I don't know, but I don't want to do this. Ah, they're guarding it. Sure. But this... Rook moves. Take here. Rook takes, and I still don't get this pawn. Go away. I don't like this pawn being pinned, but I don't really have any good reason to move my king anywhere just at the moment. I just need to get my knight involved. This is an okay square for him. Nothing amazing or anything. This guy's pinned, so I don't want to allow this. I mean, their rooks can make it to the 4th rank, which is pretty good for them. But there doesn't seem to be anything for them to do once they get here. Hopefully I can keep it that way. This pawn is attacked twice now. And it's pinned. So we can try this. Oh, it's attacked 3 times, actually. Goodness gracious. I have to unpin so that I can just take. Actually, yeah, don't I win this pawn now? I don't know. Maybe there's something really bold, like just capture here? And then say that I'm going to have trouble tracking it down before it promotes? Just drop the rook? I guess I don't win it because they can go here, right? Defend it a second time. I'm not sure how stable that is. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Okay, they're not going to do that, though. So I get this. I'm not sure. I think I should take with the knight, right? He's okay here, but this pawn, I like it much better here, I think, than here. I don't want to give them a chance to do something with these pawns. And I don't really want to do this, I don't think. I do like attacking the bishop. But this pawn could be hard to hang on to, whereas this guy is just rock solid. Yeah, let's go here. Threatens this. And maybe I start getting rooks behind here. I assume they defend the pawn, right? There's only one way to do that. Okay, they just trade. That's fine. Now that they're going to make me put a pawn here, fine, I'll defend it. I don't think it's going to be a huge liability. And it's nice to have this court grip over here, keeping my king safe. I kind of liked it better over here, but whatever. I guess the thing is, with the pawn over here, my pawns were better on both sides of the board. Now, my pawns over here are about the same, and my pawns over here are way better. And I think I'd prefer to have better pawns on both sides. This is what I wanted to do anyway. Right, I can't take this. There's still a rook guarding. Where are you going? Here, I guess. Well, that's defended by the bishop, so I don't know. This? I don't think that's so great. I don't really want him getting to here to fork these, the king and pawn, I guess. Maybe that's the idea, is if I do nothing, you have this. But I could defend. It would be okay, right? You know what? Can I just do this? Is that okay? I think it's okay. Make the knight commit himself to something. And, like, he can commit himself to these, which are fine with me. This, I don't know, they're not fine. I don't like them. But, whatever. These are fine. This is fine. This sucks. This sucks. This doesn't really accomplish anything. Can just be chased away. Yeah. Let's just get the open file. Technically, he's not committed. They could defend the knight with c5. But okay, they're gonna try to weaken my pawns over here. I'm okay with that. I probably want my king here rather than here, just so I can keep an eye over this area if necessary. Also, so I can support this a second time if they go in for this. They're not going to do that. Threatening the H pawn. Kind of has to go into passive mode here. I could do this and attack the F pawn as well. But they can just have their rook defend both, and I don't think I've really gained anything from that. I could break this open if I wanted. But I don't think I do. I just want to get more pressure on the only open file. Do I want to trade rooks? I mean, like, I offered a rook trade just by putting them here, I guess. I could trade all the rooks. And then just swing in here with my king and eat all this stuff up. I guess that's probably going to win. Oh, my opponent's rated exactly 1500. But not provisional, so played plenty of games. Interesting. I guess their king can defend this. But I can make a break over here. And I get this connected passer, which it's going to be really tough for the king to get to. There's a wall of his own pawns. He's going to have to go this way if he wants to stop it. Uh, okay, we'll just push him back, I guess. Yeah, and then here... Well, no, I guess not there. Hmm. This is very clearly winning. I'm just not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. I want to make these pawns, like, self-sufficient. I think this is the idea. Lock this guy out, and then wander over here. Yeah. He has to hang out over here to block these pawns from promoting. And I can just go to the other side now. And the pawns control all this on their own. Yeah. Okay, that was a nice, quiet game, it felt like. Nothing was ever really in any danger. I'm sure I'll discover I made some blunder and there was some tactical way that things were in danger, but I wasn't aware of it. I found a tactic to win a pawn, and... Well, no. First I blew up their king side. Oh no, things were weird at the beginning, weren't they? When that whole, like, early queen nonsense was happening? Yeah, I forgot about that. No inaccuracies. A perfect game. Just ignore the numbers below that. Okay, so queen here apparently is bad. I suppose I'm supposed to just take here immediately? No. I'm probably just supposed to run back with the knight. Oh! I can just take the pawn, can't I? It's not defended, but I can get it with check. I can... It is defended, right? Yeah, it says that's good, but it prefers pawn push? Anyway, the idea is if here... Oh, I don't have this defended. Ah, but I have this. And I'm, like, down material, but look at that king. And we pile up on the pinned knight. They go here to defend. And I guess we back up so they can't go here if they want. Huh. I don't know, but then they have this? I'm down material, but their king, like, is really problematic. Castle, huh? But no, it says bishop backs up, and they defend this, and everything is tied to this knight. We chase this away, and finally he has to go, and we can win this. And ta-da! It's, well, not actually back to equal. Right, we didn't win anything. Why this? Why not, for example, take the pawn? I'm not sure what's so great about this bishop move. Apparently it's insane. I know we're getting like far afield from what happened in the game, but oh wow, queen goes here. I don't really understand what's happening anymore. Oh, the pawn is pinned. Look at that. Huh. Yeah, it's a complete mystery what ends up happening if I sack this knight. I briefly thought I had it covered because after knight takes, bishop takes, defending, I forgot the queen. So this is the response I came up with, but I don't think I could have defended it in the game. It should just go here, huh? Don't really see why. This is some, like, I don't know. This is not the kind of position that I'm comfortable in at all. I don't think I should go in for that. I castled, which it hates. Yeah. I remember I had some ideas about, like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't be castling yet. I forget what I thought they were going to do instead, or what they would do to attack me. Just develop some pieces in general, right? Something like this. No, bad. Break open their other castling location, I guess, yeah. Now they're never going to go anywhere. These pawns. Apparently the position is still fine for black, but okay. I let them get castled, sadly. When did that happen, by the way? Immediately after I castled, they rescued the knight. But they rescued him to the wrong place. Apparently it was supposed to be here? It's threatening this fork, and also threatening this. And I can't defend them both at once, I don't think. Oh, but this is just, it's already defended, so it's fine. Okay, but they can, like, deflect the bishop and end up winning this, probably. And then they threaten to win the rook as well. Okay. So, but that didn't happen. And then when I developed the knight, said that was a mistake. I mean, maybe I have to do this now? Yeah. So what was wrong with the knight move, though? This. Hmm. I don't totally understand why that's such a big deal. They get this. And it says they're winning. I mean, substantially ahead. They have a bishop for a knight. Ah, my d-pawn is dead. I see. Yes, this pawn is overloaded. That's why I couldn't allow them to get here. I have to be able to run with this bishop, but I don't understand exactly why this resolves that issue. Right? Like, oh, I guess it's not so much that bishop there resolves the issue, so much as it gives me this knight move was bad. I needed to move the knight here, and I couldn't because the bishop was in the way. So, we send the bishop over and trade it. And now I can go here so that this knight move is not a big deal, I guess. H4. I thought that was a pretty good move. I don't think I can just sit here and do nothing, can I? I guess I could try. If they push, then I bring the king up? This pawn is defended a million times. What am I worried about? I don't think you bring the king up, actually, because then something like this would be disastrous. So maybe you just completely ignore what's going on over here and develop some threat of your own. Like what exactly? This? No. This? No. Get a rook over? Maybe. Bishop here? Doesn't seem very good. I don't know. What's the answer? Go in for this again. Right. I saw this at some point in the game, and eventually, I think I ended up never playing it, but I don't know. I still don't understand why this is so great. It makes their rooks look worse, I guess. It unpins this so that I can make this push if I want. Okay. Well, I mean, after this last mistake, things were pretty clean. Let's get out of this mode. Where's my actual line? It was here. Yes, they were supposed to go for this again. This whole thing was something we both missed several times in a row. Now I finally got to play this. And it says they should just take. Sure. It definitely prefers pawn takes, huh? Why? I guess maybe for the reason, I don't know. They're supposed to blockade. I'm not sure why this pawn is such a great asset. It's limiting the ability of their rooks to get involved, maybe? Hmm. They're still threatening this whole idea. Ah, right. It's all about this pawn being overloaded. It's been the theme in so many of the mistakes this game. Is if I take with the knight, then I have to like back up to here to defend the bishop anyway. Which is like maybe fine. Um because if I don't, then like they're gonna go here and this pawn's isolated. It's just dreadful, right? Um but when I take with the pawn, suddenly this pawn only has one responsibility. And it can handle that just fine. And my knight can do whatever he wants now. My bishop can do whatever he wants. I don't know. He might like to hang on to this pawn, I guess. Attacking this is what he wants, I suppose. All right. Well, an instructive game. You know what? Let's do a quick puzzle storm. Sure, why not? I'm trying to like be able to do these faster. Spotting, if you can like spot these tactics instantly, it doesn't help like exactly to be instantaneous in a 15-10 game, but if you see like some idea that's almost there, you can maybe like figure out how to get it to actually be there. So win the bishop. This is just hanging. No, capture. What? Oh, win the rook. I see. Checkmate. Win the queen exchange. Check. Win the queen. Checkmate. Checkmate. Win the rook. Push? It's not the usual puzzle, but okay. Pile up on this pawn, maybe? No. Check and win the rook. This seems like something. Just take the knight. Check. Mate. Check. Take the queen. Check and win the bishop, I guess? Nothing better? Okay. This should be fine, right? Yeah. Uh... Here? No, here. Check. Ah! Misclick. I wanted to go to the back rank. Yeah, now the knight's hanging. Well, that's too bad. This was going pretty well. It's still going fine, actually. Here is what I would try in a game, but that's dropping a pawn, so maybe I would think about it more, huh? Here, here. I don't think that's good for me. Ah, the pawn is pinned, I see. Check here. Check. That doesn't work. I think I can take this rook. No? Obviously it was guarded, but I thought pushing my other rooks to the back rank might be enough of a threat. Okay, show me the failed puzzles. This one was my misclick, right? I found this. Takes here. But I misclicked. Okay, fine. It was also a bit slow. So I thought maybe takes here, here, or no, sorry. Takes here, drawing the rook back, and then this. Is that not great? I guess it doesn't quite work. King here, check. King here, and there's not really a follow-up. Okay. What about this check? Yeah, that should be good, right? Pulls the rook over, which you can take with check and then win this rook. Oh, actually, it's checkmate. Sure. What was going on in this last puzzle? We didn't even play this puzzle. It just loaded up and then was instantly timeout. Okay. Let's do another puzzle storm. Try to do a bit better than that. Who am I? I'm white. Okay, checkmate. Check. Mate, actually, I think. Check. And then win the queen. Check and take the bishop? Then I drop my knight. What was the advantage of this? Oh, take it with the knight. Grab the queen there. Checkmate in 2. Check and win the queen. Check. Mate. This seems like a good fork. Here seems good. Bring the queen in. Check. Mate. Can I go here? Yeah. Here's another queen discovered attack. This wins the queen, sort of. I don't know. That didn't look like a great trade. What's the idea here? Take this, I guess? Sure. This is a check, which smothers the king? Nice. You don't get a lot of smothered mates in Puzzle Storm, I don't think. Take here first? No. Fork those two and then pick up the bishop. This is good? What's the follow-up, though? I don't see it. Does nothing. Does nothing. This all sucks. Ah, here. Well, that was, well, 21, not too bad. Same as last time, but not my favorite by any means. So I failed no puzzles, right? No, I failed this one. So I thought take this. Because the queen's in a pickle, right? Oh, just go here. Okay. All right, these are fast. We'll do one more. I'm black. Oh, they changed the wording on this, which I like. It used to be somewhere it said you always play the same color throughout a puzzle rush, but now it says you play black in all puzzles. That's nice. I know people had some confusion about it. Here, right? The king has to step up, but then what? How is this the first puzzle in Puzzle Storm? I don't know. I guess we're just winning a bishop this way. Fine. This check seems good. Hey, it was checkmate because of the pawn. Okay, trade and a pawn. Win the queen. And the bishop this time. Checkmate. Win a rook. Oops. I didn't look very closely at that. It just looked like the right pattern, and apparently it wasn't. And we win a rook this way. Not a very good puzzle, I feel like. The right answer is almost forced. Defend? Seems bad. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Ah, check. And then promote. I see. Check. Yeah, there you go. Is the queen trapped? Yes. Pick up the bishop this way. Okay. Checkmate. Attract the king to the corner and then fork him. Trade queens, push pawn, maybe? Well, I guess I have to escape with the bishop, huh? Not there. Didn't see that bishop at all. Yeah, checkmate. Does this work? Yeah, the other rook guards. Okay. Here threatens mate in one, so they have to take it. No. Take with check, then take the queen. 22. Okay, so what was the problem with the one I missed here? Or the 2 I missed? I just threw the queen in there, but you need to throw the rook in. So that the queen can checkmate at the end. Sure. And in this one, we trade queens, and then... I have to stay here so I can guard the pawn. This is fine. Probably this is also okay. Nope. Oh, just push the pawn. Sure. Then this, though, and... How exactly am I hanging on to this pawn? You get it. Okay, you guard this. I don't like this puzzle. I mean, yes, it does clearly win, and this is the only way to do it. But it kind of ends at the wrong point with like, oh, this. They can take, and then they clearly lose. But I feel like this would be more interesting, and I don't know. It's like kind of ending at the wrong point, right? There's this whole like, yes, trade queens and then push the pawn. I don't know. It doesn't obviously win material, and it doesn't go long enough to make you prove that you actually know how to push the pawn. So I don't like it. Okay, that's enough Puzzle Storm for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.